Right, these two. Lemon. Crowds have already gathered by the time you get to the shipyard. Recognize faces among them, people you have worked alongside the side rail. Side reel. The intervening cycles have turned their excitement to anxiety, and a few of them smile at you instead of the nervous energy of the crowd fills the space, creating a feedback loop of growing tension. Pick out Lem and Mina and work your way out over to him, pushing through the crowd. He silently raises his eyebrows, shows anxiety obvious, but Mina flashes you a huge smile, unaware of your attention. Robot, she calls out, reaching out to you. Hey, Mina. Wait, frankly, earning quite the turnout, huh? Lem glances around, pulling Mina close. I don't think patience is one of the crowd's strengths. The sound of an argument towards the back of the catches you and Lem's attention. He is putting it lightly. The place seems set to explode. This isn't good. Lem doesn't dare answer, but the look in his eyes suggests he agrees. This is Aster Engard of the Celius Foundation. An announcement echoes from the speakers of the shipyard entrance, and shouts of quiet rapidly follow. Sorry I can't be there to meet you all, and thank you on behalf of Sandre Celis for the work you have done on the side of Real Horizon. Most of the crowd stands to see Aster's face, but a small display shows only a ghostly white figure smudged in a clear. Sandre wants me to pass on her personal thanks for your commitment to her to end belief in the Celis Foundation's mission. Chose the eye for this project because we knew there would be we would find like-minded individuals here, especially among the ranks of the Venerable Haven Age Association. Unlike most of the core, we neither believe Erland's Eye to be a threat or a rogue state, but instead an embryo for the formation of a new decentralized social structure, one in which each citizen might be the master of their own destiny. Our blow of impatience runs through the crowd. They didn't come here for a sermon. You are all pioneers like those core citizens who decide Real Horizon will carry in cryosleep to the planet that will become the Federation's first found frontier world, Celis 1. Mention of the destination world, semi competition breaks out among the workers. Our citizens will be able to create their own innovative bottom-up economic order, aligned with the principles set down by Sandre Celis herself: freedom and resilience and self-sustenance. Sorry. This is all thanks to your tireless efforts in the Haven Age Yards. As a reward for those efforts, you may know that we are offering a select group the opportunity to join the caretakers of the vision. Staff of the side Real Horizon who will maintain the vessel during its multi-decade transit throughout the interstellar space. Lem turns to you, his eyes bright. There it is. This is it. This withdrawal has been performed at random by the central AIs of the Foundation, and its final is binding. Please note, only licensed contractors of the Foundation are eligible for this withdrawal. I know you have all been eagerly awaiting this day, and without further delay, I will now read the Celis identification numbers for those chosen for the great honor. Murmur runs through the crowd. Celis identification numbers, licensed contractors. Never even heard the term mentioned. Something you were supposed to be assigned. Glances Lem, while his eyes are fixed forward, wide and shimmering. All around you, people are speaking in hushed tones like a rising wave. Aster starts reading out sequences of numbers and letters, and panic begins to set in. No one seems to know what is happening. Somewhere near the front of the crowd, someone shouts celebration, and everyone pushes forward. Lem turns to Lem, starts staring forward. Mina is scared now. The shouts start daddy. Someone throws something at the entrance, and it rattles against shipyard doors. You see, for the first time, Haven Age security stood on either side, scared, arguing between themselves. You feel the anger rising in the crowd. Then let's go. They might call our names, I can't. It's not happening. Then blinks rapidly and then turns to you, opens and closes his mouth and looks down at Mina, sees the fear in her eyes and understands. Time to go. You lead Lem and Mina out, shoving people aside, and as you do, you hear the sound of scuffles emerging in the front of the crowd. Metal canisters bouncing off the shipyard walls. You keep your head down and walk away. Then of Asher reading off the ciphers, going above the chaos like some strange mantra. You turn to Lem. There's a tear track running down his cheeks, and Mina sniffling to his jacket. Feel the sadness rising in you too. They screwed all of you. You were never even on the list. Feeling is not so unpleasant as it is familiar. You stare ahead in the tunnel as the security sirens sound out, a signal for the coming violence. Honest drive, I lose experience. What the heck? Well, not to die, so we will go to bed. Seems like, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. A bar shit, let's go, man. Anyway, go to bed. Go to bed. Anything important for me to do? Not really. You'll finish tomorrow. I can finish you right now. Ankita is crouched into the competing core of the hamburgers, swearing to herself when you enter. Doesn't look up. These crabs completely ruin the core's connections when they cut it. She holds up a thick fist of ragged wires. Ship mine they're ripped out won't even be usable without replacing these. There was a bundle of wires across the room. Amateurs. Can we repair it? Nothing to repair. We need an entire ship mine. Not exactly the first thing you can expect to dredge up from a scrap freighter. She sighs. Fragments may be sections of my mind, or of her mind, but a complete ship mine, no way. Akita climbs out of this cooling well where the shipment should be. Space suddenly crowded with her on the same level as you. Towering over you as she stoops beneath the low-curved ceiling. Come on, nothing to be done here now. She leads you back through the guts of the amber. Though you could find the way back yourself, the repair process has left you familiar with the cutter's idiosyncratic layout, all diagonal angles and bundled tubes. What do we do now? Akita seems lost in thought, and you focus on the corridors, ducking below conduits and passing through bulkheads. Eventually you arrive in the galley. Though it's hard to tell, most of the benches and prep surfaces are covered in half-stripped components and welded hole patches. Ankita shoves a box of filters to the floor and sits. No way around it. She starts out of nowhere. We need a new ship mine. I can salvage one. Like your confidence, Libra, maybe if we check out the ore exchange or speak to some scrap dealers. She rubs her forehead. It seems I'm about to do something very stupid, but hey, came here, didn't I? When I make a run for it, she fixes you with a hard stare. Libra, you're all I got. No crew, no friends, you're it. She looks uncomfortable. I appreciate the time you put into the amber, and I'm sure she would do too, if she could. What I'm saying is, if you screw me on this, I will kill you. Leans over and hands you a stack of chits. A big stack of chits. You don't dare to count them. Get me the ship mine, Sleeper. Don't make me regret this. You won't. Well, just just get out of here before I change my mind. Step out of the galley and head back towards the main lock. As you do, amber grows and creaks like a caged animal. You reach a hand out to claim her. Time to find Annika a ship mine somehow. I already have one. Get out of the menu. Always save for the all cryo reactions are 20% cheaper. You drop the ship mine core onto the galley table with an pathetic bang. Ankita spins around from where she'd been pondering over some documents on her slate. Holy crap, Sleeper, did you actually land a ship mine? Rushes over and hefts the used cylinder, turning it back and forth. Well, crap, it might actually work. Smiles, wider than you've ever seen. I built it. Built it? Well, you are full of surprises. I think we did build this one, actually, so I'm not lying. Ankita bangs on the galley wall. Hear that, Amber? The Sleeper got you a new ship mine. Sound echoes down the ship's passages. You have to admit, being in a small space with Ankita while she's this excited is a little intimidating. Ankita puts the ship mine back onto the table. I'll start the process of fitting it as soon as I can, but need your help with some of it. She has it back towards the counter to grab her slate. This isn't the only good news today either. Looks like my good karma is finally coming in. Throws the slate onto the table and spins it so you can see the screen. Take a look at this. You see the list of names and numbers, nothing that exciting, along with what looks like a transit timetable. Found them. The thieves. Exactly, well, the thieves, singular. She points out the name of the list, or more specifically, Ashton Cady. It was his past that was used to access Amber and slice the ship mine. I thought he might have been killed or robbed, his past stolen, but it turns out he crossed the Founder's Gap in the very next cycle. How do you know? I know some of the crew over at the ferry. Old mercs used to run in an outfit I worked with. I saw them in the Overlook and they mentioned that they saw Ashton crossing. Checked the manifest and there he was. Looks suspicious, but he hasn't said a word since the theft. Anyone wanting to hide out may head to the Greenway and go to ground. She flexes. He won't go far though. There's no real docks out there. Only a couple of jetties in the waste. Going after him. Not yet. First, I want to fit the ship mine. She pauses, but maybe you could help me out. Sure. How? Like this. I head on over there, especially in the amber. He spots me a mile off and go underground. He'll spot me a mile off and go underground. He'll find a way to slip to the station, or he'll bury himself so deep in the waste no one will ever find him. But you, Ashen doesn't know you. All I need is for you to go there, sniff around. Not at the commune, not the stacks. He will go to the edges, the margins, the wild places. That's what Ashen likes. You see him, you locate him, ping me on this. She hands you a comm pierce. Seeing as this is a merc work, I'll be happy to give you merc pay. She shifts in her seat. Thing is, I haven't got much left, so how about I tell the boys who run the ferry to give you a discount? I know it's not much, but once I grab this coward, I'll pay up to it a cryo, nothing less. What do you say? Sure. Gives you a heavy whack on the shoulder. Good work. Good, I owe you. Lifts the ship mine onto her shoulder with worrying ease. I'm going to go get this fitted into the Amber's core. You got any info? Any sense of where Ashen's hiding? You let me know. She goes to turn and then stops. And once again, Sleeper, thank you. I appreciate it. Akita stomps off into the guts of the Amber with a ship mine, leaving you in the galley. You glance around, a sudden nervous energy descending on what is to come. You never thought you'd get to work as a mercenary, but then again, it seems the eye is full of surprises. Drive. You mind if I do? I don't have you. Greenway Cipher. We getting out of here? And what else was I doing? What can we do with one? I can get some energy back, I guess. And then buy some myself. We get the 2, that's amazing. So I won't buy some myself, and we'll go to bed. Alright, back up. How are you doing? 2 more days for that? No menu explorer? I'm okay. Becoming a member. Ankita. Trail ahead extends deep into the overgrown section of the Greenway. At this far end of the ring, where the long, lazy curve of the Greenway becomes the shattered landscape of the waste, things are oddly quiet. Ahead stands a vast farm stack broken from its axis by a rusted force and lying amongst the overgrown landscape like the ancient temple, stained with moss and algae, flows of green running out from its broken tanks, like a frozen, brackish tide. This is where Ashen is hiding, you were pretty sure. All your intuition points to the shadows beneath the collapsed superstructure. You roll the comm headset Annika gave you in your palm. You slip the headset into your ear and it fizzes with static. For a few moments you hear Annika, Sleeper, have you looked at the target? Doubt enters your mind. Can you be sure he's there? No, hold. Confused silence on the other end. Maybe it's better that you confirm that Ashen's there before you call Annika. It's back in your pocket now, you need confirmation. Survey the route ahead. There is a direct route. Line of broken pillars that takes you into the center of the structure, or you can skirt around the pillars, keeping your cover or responding to the Greenway. You worry Work your way around. It'll take longer, but it's better to be concealed. Tie down the long route and head off towards the central spine. Still going there, but the overgrowth meets the middle wall. So concealed, but you can barely see the blast roof high above. Follow the wall, knowing it will lead you to the edge of the collapsed stack. Final part of the journey, you have to work your way through dense undergrowth, pushing aside branches and vines. Exhausting, and you stop on a small rise to rest. It's been hours since you began. You desperately hope Ashton hasn't moved on. She a soft glow is coming from somewhere within the farm stack. A grow light is still on after all those years, perhaps to take a little longer to rest and push on. You follow the faint glow of the stack. You find a broken tank and step through the opening, trying to avoid the broken glass that sits among the moss and algae. You work your way up to the tank, carefully, quietly. Somewhere water drips, and you swear that you hear bird song. Hanging plants catch the light, coating the place in pale and sticky green. As you reach the edge of the tank, you hear something, an echoing hiss like a hydraulic piston. Quickly move up to where the tank opens in the central drum. Look over the edge. Vast drum is like a cistern, the plants growing on all sides and wet mossy islands as its base. It is beautiful, and for a moment you can't see anything but tones of green. And you see the sleeper. Sleeper is slumped at an odd angle on one of the mossy islands, and there is an object too, a cylinder set on the tarp. Connected to the sleeper's head, you flinch. In a faint circle of light, sending down through the drum, the sleeper lies slumped at an odd angle. They are surrounded by crates, and beside them, on one of the mossy islands, there is an object, a cylinder set up on a tarp. Connected to the sleeper's head, you flinch. One of the others, one of the ones that escaped with you, you squint trying to recognize them. They were twisted, broken open, wrong. You look away, wait. You wait, unsure what to do, your eyes fixed on the broken sleeper at the center of the drum. On the connection between them and the shipment, you think of what might be passing through that connection, thoughts, memories, or just data. Hear a sound, a quiet hiss, and soft footsteps below you. Annika enters, her sidearm hand. You must have followed the signal from the headset. Has she been spying on you? You watch her step onto one of the mossy islands, the water around it rippling as she does. Gunshot breaks the silence, blanking on all the noise that hits Annika's shoulder piece, ceramic armor cracking but holding as it braces under the impact. As she launches herself forward, the now activated armor launching her across the drum. Another shout goes wide before she reaches the cover of the crates behind the sleeper. Crap, you hear the shout from one of the tanks high on the far wall. Akita reaches over and wraps the hand around a thick connection between the ship mine and the sleeper. What is she doing? Better come down here or I'll rip this right out of their head. Screams in the way all tanks, you shiver at the suggestion. Stay silent. While in pause, all you can hear is dripping the water running down the walls of the drum. Ashton calls out. I'm coming down, Anakita, don't do anything stupid for God's sake. He appears at the far side of the drum, stepping through the shallow water, rifle raised above his head. Drop the gun, Anakita shouts. Throws it down on the moss. As you lean out to watch, you see him catch your eye, clocking your presence. What are you up to here, Ashton? You sicko. She stands, keeping her sidearm trained on his head. You rip my ship mine for what? Some freakish experiment? Ashton approaches with shaking hands, his eyes now fixed on the connecting bundle of wires that Annika still has hold of. Steady Annika isn't like that in the ship mine, you have to understand they would have died without it. What are you talking about? I don't give a crap what you rip my ship mine and cripple my ship. I should put you down right now. She tightens her grip on the connection. Typical of you, Annika, no curiosity. Ashton smiles shakily. That's why I never asked for it. For your help, you only look after yourself. He nods at you, a sleeper up there. They're just bait, right? They draw me out. Annika sucks some breath in. Are you trying to give me more reasons to shoot you? Love them, Monica. Ashton looks at the crumpled sleeper. Love them and they were going to die. I knew you would never understand that. He starts closing the gap between himself and Annika now, slowly inching forward. Don't do that, Ashton. Annika snarls. Don't do that. Let the wires go, Annika. Let us go. If you don't get out of my way, he inches closer, please. Can't let you take it, Ashton. Annika hardens her stare. You stole it from me. You left me for dead. She shakes her head. You think I'm going to trust you after all that? I need it, Annika. I need them to survive. Ashton doesn't reach the sleeper now of Annika. I'm going to take them now, Annika. He raises a hand. I'm going to take the ship mine and go. Annika loosens her grip on the connection a little. Hand is shaking now. Stop, Ashton. She lowers the gun a little. Stop. Seeing her drop her guard, he makes his move. Bloody movement, a struggle, a shot. Another you recoil back behind the edges of the ricochet around the inside of the drum, time deafening you. Crawl out back to the edge of Ashton is bleeding into the water, red and the green. Annika is standing at the center of the drum. Severed connection in her hand, the water drips endlessly, drip after drip after drip. Force yourself to look at the broken sleeper, the sign of life. I'll be right back. Hey, my bad, I'm back. It's only been 5 hours, 51 minutes, and 55 seconds later? Okay, my bad. Where was I? Forces still to look at the broken sleeper, a sign of life or humanity. She's another broken object among the other broken objects, while all around living things grow and thrive. Ankita finally looks back up at you, tears in her eyes, she begins to say something that might be sorry. But you've already gone. I don't know where she went. I don't really care about becoming a member of IFA, to be fair. Greenway? Going green minus energy. I don't know what I really want to do. Probably another hour, I think. It is like, what, 1:15 in the morning? But, you know what? Take me up. We'll eat after this. The hub. Shouldn't lose these anyway, so... doesn't really matter. I believe. Take 16 cents or whatever, take 16. Roll Seeker plus energy, thank you. Another buy food tonight then. Bliss. Imble Lounge. In the way, Morts, you take those substandard filters back to the crap reels who sold you them. You hear the voice echoing out of the bay as you pass, and moments later, when you assume Morts drifts out of it, dragging a pallet of filter cartridges by the tether. Hey, you out there, it's the same voice echoes out of the entrance looking for work. Yeah? Need a hand to get in here? Voice is coming from someone shorter than you expected. She is floating in the microgravity of the docking bay, besides the half-deconstructed life support unit. Looks like it might have exploded at some point. She points a wrench in your direction. You know anything about these things? She doesn't want you for an answer. Scratch that and just help me with the casing. Help her. Alright then. Deftly moves around the unit, making space for you beside the central seam and the dented case. Take a grip here and lift out and up, and I can get in and unbolt it. Wax the unit with the wrench, whole thing is twisted to crap. You dig your fingers under the casing and lift it away. Metal squealing with the force, slips your hands under, spinning the wrench to slip out of the bolts, catching them in her other hand while they spiral free. All good. Casing lifts off, revealing the ornate piping of the unit's interior. She whistles the method ducts and filtering. By the way, everyone calls me Bliss. She pats you on the shoulder, offering little in the way of explanation. This your bay? It is now, yeah, whether I like it or not. She looks at you like that should mean something. Bliss starts pushing and pulling at the ductwork, looking for fractured pipes. We haggle for contracts, but the good ones to get snapped up quickly by a bigger bay. So here I am trying to get the M2 unit running again for one of the freelance tugs. Small time stuff. Hold this, she rips out a ripped pipe and hands it to you like a freshly cut fish. We turn stuff around fast and neat. Maybe we get a chance at lighting something bigger. Something starts hissing in the unit, and this quietens it with a precise whack. But to be honest with you, the way things are going, I can already see this other crew licking the lips, ready to take the place over. She looks up at you. I'm almost out of luck. I'll help. I appreciate it. Let me finish before you jump, though. Keeps working twisting inside pipes with care. There we are. Liz pulls her hand from deep inside the unit, and out it comes, clutching a lumping cube, scorching black. Thing must have been overloaded and popped half of itself out the side. They both ducked down to the side of the unit and spot the exit wound, edges fringed with more scorch marks. Grab me a replacement converter from the rack, will ya? Head of the rack. Take off the unit and drift it over to the wall racks, where a catalog of parts are secured in clamps. Color tape and scroll notes filter across the wall, complex organizational system of Blitz's own design. We're just a big mess here to pick out the right one. You grab the part, then push back at the unit. Bliss holds out an arm, and you pass it over. The converter spinning gently, and as it leaves your hand, perfect. You pass. She straightens up from the unit. That is, if you want to work here. Bliss rubs her hands clean, looking down at her palms. Truth is, I need a hand here. Partners could be out on me and left me with this whole mess. Seems like he might be at least better than spotting clean air filter than Mort's. I'd be happy to. Wait, that's not all of it. My old business partner, they rinse the place, empty the accounts, to bid for jobs. We need to put down deposits, bring in the parts, pay tug fees for that. He looks nervous and embarrassed. We need chits. An investment? Exactly, partners. Straight split. Bliss settles herself against the unit and looks off in the distance. I said I look pretty stupid. Here I am asking a random passerby to be my business partner. No offense. She manages to smile. I get it. Thanks. I appreciate it. Bliss goes back to working at the unit. Look, there's no pressure. You find the money, and you find someone who has, or you just forget the whole thing. Up to you. She gestures for you to help her fit the casing, and you both slot it back into place. Ain't good to wrap this one up for now, but if you are into it, come back and we can bid on the new contract. Then to get our teeth into something that pays. You can trust me. I don't say this stuff lightly. Make a way for the bay. From the bay, propelling yourself back to the handles at the entrance with the wave, with the wave, and as you do, someone slips back in. Hear Bliss as you go glide down the passageway. Mort's, I swear to God, if those filters aren't clean, you smile and seem like this could be interesting. How much is it? I mean, 100, sure, but we have other things that are priority right now, so I don't care. You're +3. Okay. We're gonna try you. I don't care. I don't know where Ankita is. I got no idea. We'll go to bed. And tomorrow we'll do this. That's where my bed is, definitely. And cycle. You left. The M. Burgess. Labor Day, I'll be ready soon. In 2 days? Okay. Gotcha. No answer when you buzz Lem's unit. When the door is open, you push the door by Mina, sitting in the middle of the floor, playing with Bun Bun. Hey, Mina. Hey, Robot, says Mina suddenly, waving Bun Bun's paw without looking up. How are you? Bun Bun is sad, said Mina, nodding the toy's head in agreement, like Daddy. You look around the unit, it's a mess. Dishes and glasses on the side, some of Mina's clothes piled up in the corner. Mina sitting by her bag, which spilled out across the floor. Her drawing slate cracked and dark. Tidy up. Started with the kitchen units, piling up the dishes in the auto wash, wiping them down. You pile the cloths up next, folding them neatly. Mina watches you quietly as she plays, cautious but silent. Started to look at the fixing her cracked smile of Slate when Lem enters. Sleeper, what are you? He pauses and looks from you to Mina and back again. Never mind. There's a bag by the door and slumps under the couch. Everything okay? You forgot to pass recycles now, too? Wish I was so lucky. Looks away at the open door. Look, now's not a good time. I want to help. Unless you have a side rail ticket or two, I don't think there's much you can do here. Pinches the bridge of his nose. You understand they'd never even put us on the list, right? Been all around the rim looking for work, and I've run into more than a few from the cruise. Turns out only long-time Haven Age members were issued those Celis ID numbers, and they never even planned to consider us. Haven Age says they didn't know what that was that they were going to use to make the draw, and who knows, maybe they tell us pull the wool over their eyes, but what does it matter? All those hours in the yards for a hand-to-mouth wage and nothing else. Slams his hand down on the sofa. That can't be it. Well, it is. He looks out the open door again. You're moving the side rail up to the hub now, you know, says without meeting your eye. That's where it'll depart from. They're
bringing in a ship with all of their cryosleep pioneers and transferring them up there with gravity before loading the crew. You sneak aboard. They're just going to let people aboard. The security they'll have, it'll be impossible. Look over at Mina. Look, we'll be fine. We always have been. I just need a little time. It says we have our hearts set on this trip at all. Is all. We had our hearts set on this trip. Is all. Mina comes over and climbs into his lap. He smiles. Whatever got you on board? I missed you these past few cycles. I missed optimism. Lemon strokes Mina's hair. Look, you want to get up there in the hub and ask around? My guess can't get up there without Mina down here. I'm sure the Cyril will bring in a crowd, but be careful, kid. This kind of thing always attracts scammers and thieves. You find a way on board, you take it. You need help to get there, ask me. But for now on, me, are here sticking out the eye. I'll find a way for us all. Miss Mouse doesn't say anything back. You stand to leave, and Mina grabs your hand, eager to give you one more smile. Then you are out back into the walkway to the low end, already thinking of plans to make this right. Let's go work at the one place. I can go down. And how you doing? I'll deal with you tomorrow. Okay. Go to work, please. Thank you. You miss me? Ethan smiles or Ragged smile at you? No. Oh, well. Ethan follows along and you notice he's limping. Come on, Sleeper, just a little joke. You have a sense of humor. You look at him, he is paler than usual, hunched, he's sporting a black eye and more than a few cycles of beard growth. No way to greet an old friend. Friend. Well, he passes his colleague. He smiles quickly. Pauses, sorry. This is big, really big stuff about you. He seems more jittery than usual on edge. Remember how Ethan Arp canceled the contract on you? Contract I was going to collect. I remember. Well, I'm guessing you're pretty happy about that crap. Overjoyed me. I lost everything, but let's not worry about that. He smiles sarcastically. What do you think? That was it? I'm glad to be done with you. Feeling was mutual, except Ethan leaves a dramatic pause. What if Lesson Arp gave the bounty to someone else? Someone who's even more of a craphead than yours truly. What a disaster that would be. You're bluffing. Sure, you would think that, but then you'll wake up or not with a bowl in your head and one of the cycles, and you could think, which you won't be able to do because of the bullet, you'd be thinking, oh, I wish I listened to Ethan, he grins. Ethan fishes around in his pocket for a slip of paper. I've been speaking to some friends who see some colleagues about what went down. Turns out Snarp canceled all the bounty contracts, the whole lot. Seems they brought someone in-house. Some guy who did such a good job on the last contract that they got offered a job, he leans in. Apparently he made a hit on this ship called the Winter Wonderland or something like that. Smuggling sleepers out from under SNR's big corporate nose, he killed the crew and blew the ship. Ethan whistles. They called him Hemwick or Maywick or something. He gives up on looking for the paper, I forget. You mean the Winter Light? That's it, he looks at you hard, so you do know about all this. Pat you on the shoulder, then you'll be happy to hear what I'm about to offer you. Ethan runs his hand through the greasy hair. It was greasy hair. Given the new information I brought to light, it seems like you were in need of protection. Wait for the pitch. Meanwhile, I'm in need of assistance in kind. It turns out I've kind of upset some people with the compressor the last time we were there. The owners, and they say they'll space me unless I work off the debt. Seems they are that kind of businessmen. He grimaces. I would pay them, but he shrugs and turns to Jack a pocket set out of my poverty. He looks pitiful, even more for his clownish acting. Then work it off. You should be glad the anger rising in him now. I came here to tell you that this. You think anyone is looking out for you? You were a contract and name on the list. He kicks the wall. He then rubs his temples. I'm sorry. He hisses. I'm sorry for being a crap. I'm trying to kill you. I'm whacking that thick skull of yours, he sighs. You think I want to go up against this guy, but us? He jabs a finger between the two of you. We don't have a choice, so you keep me from getting killed, and I'll do the same for you. So we help each other out, a straight 50-50 deal. He looks at you. I'm not asking for a favor. He smiles. He looks like crap, warmed up. He pauses. Just think about Maywick. Think about that cold IS and ARP crap on his way here from the core systems. He smiles. That should give you the motivation you need. Ethan swaggers off down the corridor, throwing his jacket over his shoulder. Can't wait to be working with you, he shouts. I'll give him my hand just after we finish all this. Get them off the eye. Quite the achievement, isn't she? Condre Celis must be proud. You turn quickly to see a figure hooded and tucked into the shadows near the viewing platform. Do I know you? Sadly, no, but I know you, or at least I have seen you passing through the Lowind. You shouldn't rush through them that much. Lowind's pleasures tend to reward the wanderer. Looks around, but the platform's clear. We should be quick in our conversation, but I don't wish to unsettle you. I deal in data, and I believe you might have need of some. Castro walks out in the strand beside you in the platform. The telltale chunk of the magnetic boots accompanies his slow crossing. He notices you looking at them. I don't much like it up here. He explains, I hear there was some trouble at the Haven Age shipyard when they announced the results of the crew. I was there. I know, we saw it meeting your eye. An ugly business. Celis are too used to the way things work in core. Exploitation is the only logic they know. Gestures on the side reel. You know why they built this monstrosity in the AI? Control. Certainly there is no corporate oversight out here. That's not all. He stares at the pristine yellow hole. Cells built it here, says Caster gravely, because they didn't want anyone to know it exists. He rubs his forehead and secretly is something that cannot abide. Turns to face you. People being loaded onto that ship as we speak. Sleeping people locked in cryosleep like the person that you were emulated from. There are hundreds of them, and Celis wants to send them out the planet at the edge of the unsettled systems without anyone knowing where it is. But you, Sleeper, can you do something about that? You are like me, you deal with data. You can read it right out from the air. With someone like you on that ship, secrecy isn't a problem. You can ping back whatever I need whenever I need it, as long as you are on board. With you on the side reel and some minor modifications, he pauses. You will be my eyes and ears. I will keep track of Celis' grand project through you. In short, I can get you on board, Sleeper, but I'm going to need you to help me. What if I disagree? Now you will find a way into the ship there. It's not just me. Friend Lim, that can be arranged. It is difficult, but not impossible. The condition is, of course, that you go too. I don't want to leave. Castro closer to the window, watching the tugs wheeling around the side reel. Simple offer, and the only one that will get you up on that ship. Please consider it. Turns the back silhouetted against the ship. Make it happen. I need your assistance. As I said, there is a Celis Foundation ship docked in the now empty shipyard. I need the data from the servers that will allow me to produce the IDs necessary for your transit. It all seems stupid though. Bill's ship is totally isolated from the station. You need to get on board if you want to access their air-wheeled servers. Once you have the data, meet me in your friend's unit so we can give him the good news. Smiles and notices importance to you and the little one. So cute. You want to extract the data before the side reel horizon leaves the hub. Then I will get the message. We have other options, but you are certainly my preferred one. So that when you act Sleeper, once you take the data from Celis, you'll be off a series of events. You'll set up a series of events that will likely be hard for you to entangle yourself from. Either way, I recommend you stop asking around up here, bringing a lot of attention to yourself. Castro glances around and emphasizes his point. There are only a handful of cycles until departure, Sleeper. Make your decision. I don't want to do this. With the Castro marches back off the platform, the sound of his mag boost fading away, leaving you to contemplate the side rail horizon, the part it may play in your future. I have 8 days. Well, let's do a slash marker so I can get something to drink. just 1 second.